on this computer. All right. So not knowing how much you know of WordPress, I am going to start with plugins. Plugins are apps or applications that extend the functionality of your website, allows you to do more things on your website. And so I'm starting actually in the end of the training, but it's very important because I don't know which plugins you have. And we're going to find out in a short while which plugins your website has. And so I'm showing you on my main website. As you can see, here it shows 67 items. And by the way, Jens and Sudesh, am I sharing the screen with you? Are you able to see this screen
Yes.
reasonably well?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. So as you can see, I have 67 plugins. Not all of them are active. So a total of 67. Active I have 33. Inactive I have 34. So why these inactive? Well, it's because I tested these plugins at some stage and I don't actually need them for now. I am not deleting them. I'm just I'm keeping them inactive, so I can activate them at any stage. Okay, so if you are on your admin area, also known as the dashboard or the back end of your website, and if you see a blue ribbon, this means that those plugins are active. Okay, so as we go down, okay, and this, if you see this orange bar, it means it needs an update. So even if the plugin is not active, but if you need an update, you'll get this. So how to update is very easy. You just click on update, and this updates in real time. It takes normally a few seconds. So yeah, let's wait a bit. And I recommend that update failed. The plugin is at the latest version. So I don't have to worry about this. Okay, so and continuing down, you see the blue ribbon over there. This one is not active. I could activate. So continuing and so on and so forth. Right, something also I would recommend on your admin area of your website, of your respective websites, if you have more than one, is that you enable auto updates. So in this way, you don't have to worry about on a weekly basis or twice a week or so coming to your plugins and update them. So where are the plugins? I am in the admin area, obviously, and on the left sidebar, you can see plugins, okay? And we are in installed plugins. So I am going to refresh this page, and that the digit 1, it should disappear. Let's see. Unless there is another plugin which I'll have to update. Yes, and that 1 is now gone. Okay, so all the plugins are updated, and what I have done, I have enabled all. Sorry, I have enabled auto updates. Okay, so this is something I wanted to show you, and I am going to ask you to, on your website, to get into the admin area of your website, and then do you have the login details of WoodBeam? Sudesh?
I need to check.
I do have
Do you want to get in now?
Jens, have you got the login details?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do. Okay. So, guys, what I am going to ask for to speed up the training a little bit. Otherwise, instead of 2.5 hours today and 2.5 hours on Friday, we will be here the whole day. If I try to show you things on my admin area, and then you have to go to your admin area, and you know, it's going to take a lot of time. So what I recommend is the following. So let me go back onto plugins. Is you make me admin of your website, instead of you giving me the login details of your website, I don't want that. It's you know, a big responsibility I don't want to have. I just want to be admin for 2.5 hours. Then you delete me at the end of the training, and then on Friday, if needed be, you make me admin again for those 2.5 hours, and then you delete me at the end of the training. So how to make me, Jens, how to make me admin for the next 2.5 hours is you go to the admin area of your website, and then you go to users, and then you click on add new. So add new. Okay, and then for username, I am going to ask you to please type Tony. So Tony, and make it with a capital T, only for me to know what you're doing. So it will be Tony. The email required is going to be tony@wordpresstrainingjohannesburg.com. It can be in lowercasing. So tony@wordpresstrainingjohannesburg.com. You don't have to fill in the rest, okay? And then for password, would you remove this password, okay? And would you put the following password? Yeah, Tony with a capital T, Tony, 1, 2, 3, 4, exclamation mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, exclamation mark, only to make it super, super easy. This is a very weak password, by the way, gentlemen, and never use any password like this. It's very easy for, you know, hackers to try and figure out what your password is. It is only for training. So Jens, have you got that? So for
what was the password?
Its password is that. All right. So and then
no, what is the password?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What just repeat the password,
okay.
Tony?
And the password is Tony with a capital T, lowercase Ony, and then the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, exclamation mark. So it will be Tony 1, 2, 3, 4, exclamation mark.
Okay.
Have you got that? And then Jens, on the row, just click on the downward arrow. Click there. For whatever reason, it's taking forever. And then choose administrator.
Okay.
Administrator, and just click on add new user.
Let me just make sure I got the right email.
And whilst we're waiting, Jens and Sudesh, I would like to invite you to attend a new training course that I'll be launching in the next couple of days, which is called Google Search Console. Increase your website's traffic. And in fact, on your page on my website, I already have there. So Google Search Console, increase your website's traffic. And this is going to be hosted on Wednesday, the 26th of May, which is in 2 weeks' time. So if both of you have 3 to 4 hours in 2 weeks' time, you are welcome to attend, and it is for free. You're not going to pay anything, but this is very useful. Having your website on Google Search Console is fundamental. Is really, really very important. And so, Jens,
is this course like the search engine optimization?
Interesting. And Sudesh, and
is it something towards?
Yes. You asked.
Okay.
You are spot on. Actually, I do have training. I do give training on search engine optimization, and this complements that training. But you don't have.
Interesting. Cool.
You don't have to have the SEO training. You can go straight into the Google Search Console, And what happens is I have many clients asking me for this particular training because they have attended my SEO training and now they would like to go a step higher. So this is why I am launching. And since I am giving you training today, you know, I thought of inviting you to attend at no cost to you. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I am going to ask, it's my pleasure. So Jens and Sudesh, would you check your diary? It doesn't have to be now. And then please let me know in the next few days if you will be available for this particular training. Now, it's going to be a 3 or 4 hour, and I'm not going to split into a 2-day training. So we'll start probably at 9 o'clock and we'll go right through until midday or 1 o'clock, having a break in between, obviously. All right, so this is on your page on training Jens and Sudesh WoodBeam, a page that I have on my website for you. All right, so Jens, are you done on that side?
It's not letting me, the add new user button is grayed out still.
Is grey out. Okay,
Yes.
so it means that you are not allowed to do certain things in the admin area of your company's website. Well, this could be good and this could be bad. Okay, I'm going to explain. You know, developers spend a lot of time in creating a website. Companies spend a lot of money paying developers. All right, and a nightmare for a developer would be that someone does changes onto code or onto plugins or whatever in the admin area of the website where he or she has spent so many hours, so many days, God knows how many weeks, you know, in putting all this together. And then somebody goes and accidentally, by mistake, you know, and breaks the website. So the long and the short of it is just that. So developers sometimes they put restrictions and do not allow people to certain areas of the website. So this is good as far as developers is concerned. Is good as far as the owner, as the company owning the website, because the companies will continue having the website displayed on the internet, but actually could be very bad for things like training today, because now I have to ask you to share your admin areas with and Sudesh and I guess I should say the probability is high that there are many important areas that we have to discuss that I will not be able to see when you share the screen with me because you don't have access to those areas. So, okay, you know what, and before you share the screen with us, Jens, what I am going to do is I am going to go to, let me just move this Zoom bar to the top, somewhere there. Okay. And as you see, I put this inquiry, how many plugins does WordPress have? And there is the answer, 50,000 plugins. I mean, it is just unbelievable. There is a plugin for basically anything under the sun. Okay, and so the reason okay, whilst I'm still here, what I am going to do is let's. So let's go to plugins. Let's go to add new. Add new. Okay, and actually, I just would like to put my phone off, if you don't mind, because otherwise it is going to
Hold on.
time.
I can add you now.
I didn't hear. Sorry.
I can add you now.
You can. Ah, great,
Yeah,
great. So would you please?
Checkbox.
So would you please let me and tell me
Nice.
once I've been added?
Okay, it says you've been added.
So what I am going to do is let me just, so WoodBeam, let's go there, WoodBeam WP-admin. Okay, and so it is asking for the username. Have I been headed already, Jens?
You do appear in the users section.
Okay, great. So I am going to put here Tony, and there I am going to say Tony 1, 2, 3, 4, and exclamation mark. I want to check that this is correct. Yes, it is. I'm not going to put remember me because I don't want the website to remember me. In fact, I would like you to delete me at 12:30, please. And then, so let's see. Okay, well done. And there I am in the admin area. I'm not going to save, so I'm going to say never. Okay. And gentlemen, if you care to give me a second, I'd just like to take this jacket off. Right. Jens and Sudesh, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Great. Now, you are using an unlicensed and insecure copy of Mailstar for WoodBeam. No worries, you can resolve this and use in the future clean and tested code support. Okay, this guys, I am not going to do anything. If you need updates on this, I am going to ask you to please speak to your developer and you'll be able to fix that for you. Now, on updates, you can see you have 7. So 5 are plugins. You can see straight away. 5 are plugins. The other 2 could be themes, could be anything. And we shall see this in a moment. Now let's see. Awesome. You have been using contact form, redirect for mails has been updated to that. You haven't defined a homepage for the newsletter. Warning you didn't set your Yoast. You know what? It is very good that you do have Yoast. This is the best plugin there is for SEO. And when I say the best, this is the best by far. Okay, so you do have your the only thing is you have to make sure that it is installed properly. Yeah, so your elegant themes subscription has expired. You must renew your account, so you'll have to speak to, or we shall see, geolocation, site health status. Okay, let's okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go straight into plugins and install plugins and see the 5 that need updating. You do have WooCommerce, I see, and WooCommerce is the best plugin there is for online stores, online business. There's no doubt about it. And you do have the DV, page builder. I don't have any experience of DV. There are many good page builders in the repository of WordPress. At this stage, the most popular one, the one that the majority of developers in South Africa use, is called Elementor. But DV is also very good. And guys, I have to tell you that I use the new editor of WordPress, which is called the Gutenberg editor, or also known as the block editor. And actually, you no longer need a page builder if you are with the Gutenberg block editor. And we shall see later on if you also have this new editor. Okay, so we are in the plugins page. As you can see, this is the plugins page. You have a total of 14, and all of them are active. Okay, and category order and taxonomy terms order, there is a new version. Contact form 7, there is a new version. Now, contact form 7 used to be the workhorse of contact forms for WordPress, excuse me. And there are much better forms out there, and Gutenberg itself, the block editor, have their own contact forms, and one no longer needs contact forms 7. In fact, contact forms 7, it broke one of my websites. I have a fitness website, and it gave lots of hassles. All right, Sudesh, have you got any questions?
No, I'm following well for now.
Okay, all right. So the next one is this one, and then WooCommerce and Yoast duplicate posts. Okay, Yoast SEO Premium. Wow, you are with the premium version of Yoast. Guys, I have to tell you that I have been with Yoast for many years. I am still on the free version. I am very happy with the free version. But if you are on the premium version, which you are, well, even better for you. You know, even better for you. The only thing is, you are not keeping these plugins updated, and you don't have a very, very important plugin. Excuse me. If this continues, I'll have to go down and get a glass of water. I apologize. They are two very, very important plugins. So what I am going to do here on here, I'm going to say, okay. So guys, whilst I'm doing this, you are learning a little bit about Gutenberg, the block editor. So I've just tapped, and as you see, important plugins, okay, is a paragraph, which I am going to convert into a heading, but for now is a paragraph. And this was done in a block. If I enter, okay, I go to another block, okay? And on this block, by default, I get the paragraph block. How do I know I am on the paragraph block? On the right sidebar, you can see block and you can read paragraph. Right, so, and it has got a couple of, gives you a couple of features. Default, if I click there, I can be small, normal, or I can enter the size of the font I want, and color settings I can I can choose for the text color, for the background color, and text settings, and there's also advanced. So if you'd like to change things in CSS, you'll be able to do that as well. So for now, what I am going to say here, I would like to have, instead of having the paragraph block, I would like to have the list block. Okay, the list block. So how to change from one block onto the other? It's very easy. On the same horizontal line, I just go to the plus sign there. I click on it, okay? And on the drop down, this is exactly what I want. But let us assume that this was not showing, okay? So on the search for block, I type list. And there is the block I want. I just click on it. So now I am on the list block. How do I know? Well, look, block, list.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So what I am going to do is, you need a proper backup. Okay, very, 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 very important. I would recommend Jetpack, right? And the other one, which is vital. Okay, and by the way, on Jetpack, it used to be inexpensive. Now it's $9. So $9 a month. $9 a month, but it is worth it. It backs up every 24 hours, okay? And if anything happens, if a hacker destroys your website or whatever, you'll be able, at the click of a button, you'll be able to restore your entire website as it was, let's say, yesterday or 3 days ago or last week or last month. This is the beauty about this backup and restore. It used to be called WordPress. I'm just putting the name only for you to see. Okay, WordPress. The other one, which is equally important, is WordFence. WordFence is the best security plugin there is by far, and there is a free version. So they do have a paid version, which is, Americans call it a premium version. So, but there is also a free version. And I have to tell you, all my clients, I recommend WordFence. I have two main websites. One is this, my working website, WordPress Training Johannesburg, and another one is a hobby website. And on both, I am on the free version of WordFence. Okay, so gentlemen, what do I do? It so happens that WordPress saves my page every few seconds, but I prefer to do it manually. So I'm going there, I click on update, right? So, and what else did we talk about? I said that we should change this from a paragraph to a heading block. How to do that? It's very simple. You just click on the paragraph icon, left click, okay, and you choose whatever here. So I am going to go for heading. And by the way, Jens and Sudesh, you can access this page where I am taking a couple of notes. You can access 24/7. The only thing you have to do is enter the password I gave you the other day. All right. So now you see that by default gives us H2. And you can choose from H1 to H6, H1 being very large, H6 small. I normally choose H3. Okay, so as you can see, participants, it is a heading, it is also H3. Normally I choose H3. In this particular one, I am going to change this to H3 as well. So that's it. So I would like to know, why did I forget to have this in H3? So that's it. Okay. And update. I recommend you update. Now, interesting, if you remember load shedding, about 3 years ago, whenever I could work for hours, okay, on WordPress, and then the power would go off. In those days, if you remember a couple of years ago, Eskom was in a terrible situation that they wouldn't even give us any forecast of when load shedding was going to occur. So you were working and all of a sudden no lights, no power, and all the work I had done, if I didn't update on a regular basis, all that work was gone. Is not the case anymore. Now WordPress saves automatically for you, but to be on the safe side, I still do it, I do it manually. Okay, so and let's go. So you see, you don't have those two, very important. And what I am going to ask Jens to do, because this would be a huge responsibility on my side. Now, I am going to ask Jens to update all these plugins. But before you go ahead, Jens, you have to decide whether you want to do that or not. And if you don't want to do, I'm not going to be offended, obviously. But the reason I say you have to decide whether you're going to go ahead or not is, here, I don't see any plugin here. I don't see any backup, okay, plugin here. Hosting companies, with whom are you hosting this website, gentlemen?
I'm not sure.
Not okay. It could be.
They supposedly do have a backup.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
They supposedly do have a backup.
Yeah, exactly that. Yes, quite correct. So normally hosting companies, be it AfriHost or Ex-Nilo, which used to be called Hetzner, those good hosting companies normally back up your entire website every 24 hours. Yet, Jens and Sudesh, I have to tell you that I have a client, and I did mention to her the importance of having a good backup and restore. And she said, well, and don't worry, because I am with AfriHost, and they told me that they do backup every 24 hours. Well, a few months down the line, I got a call from her, and she was crying because her website had been hacked. She went to AfriHost. AfriHost was able to restore about 90% of a website, but not 100%. And she is a photographer. So you can imagine corporate events and weddings and everything else. All those photos she still had on computer, but now she would have to download onto her website, and she would have to rearrange the pages. Do you know how time consuming that is? So this is why on my fitness website, I am with, okay, so I use Airfreehost. I am on Vumatel Fiber, and they have an arrangement with Airfreehost, and I pay Airfreehost. But the hosting of my fitness website is with Xnilo in Cape Town. And my main website, this one, I'm giving you the training. This is with Bluehost of the United States. So I am paying a small fortune, unfortunately, because I'm paying in dollars. I pay $35 a month. It is really costly when you convert that into rand. But I have been with them for many years, and they provide very good service. And I am not going to run the risk of moving to another host and then break part of my website, lose pages, whatever the case is. So I'm going to continue with them. So Jens and Sudesh, you see, you need to update. This not updating is very bad in many ways. One is it can slow your website down. Number two, it can interfere with your pages. So a page will not display properly because the plugin is not up to date. Okay, and probably the most important one is hackers. They try to access websites through plugins that have not been updated. This is one of the reasons why plugins are updated, is because the developers of those plugins have identified weak areas, okay, in their work, in their plugins, so that they are able to resolve those issues. But if a website has got plugins that have not been updated, hackers will in no time get access to the admin area of your website and cause a lot of damage, if not irreparable damage. I mean, these guys, some of these hackers are super bright guys, super intelligent. What a pity that they are using their, intelligence for the wrong things. But in any case, so Jens, perhaps you and Sudesh would like to speak to your director and just find out if you can, after the training today, if you can go ahead and update. So you have a couple of ways of updating. One is you just go one by one. So you click there. I'm not going to do it. I'm only going to show you how to do it. So you check and you just go there and update now. Okay, but this is quite time consuming because you have 1, 2, 3, you have 5 actually. So a quicker way of doing it is you just check all those plugins, in this case 5, okay, that need updating, okay, there. And then for bulk actions here on the bottom or at the very top, the same, exactly the same. There, bulk actions, you just click on update, okay, and then you click apply. And then they will update one at a time, in real time, but it takes a few seconds for each one to update. It's really a beauty. Now, you can go even a step higher, okay? And this is, once you have updated the 5, enable auto updates one by one. Click there, click there, click there, and so on and so on. Auto updates enabled. So this one, in fact, is the only one. This one is also enabled, WooCommerce. So you already have two plugins that self update. Okay, this is a time saver, guys. This is a time saver. So I'm not going to say any more. Let me just go here and let's put, okay, to do what else? So again, I am going to go for the look for the list and I am going to put, update plugins. Right, and you know exactly what I mean by that. Let me just go back there. So guys, now this is a little bit of a test. I want to change. This is the paragraph icon. So this is a paragraph. You can see it is paragraph there on the right hand side. So I want to change this paragraph to a heading, and I would like to choose heading 3, which is H3. What must I do, Sudesh?
Sorry.
Sure.
I just gotta answer a call. Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Apologize.
No problem. Are you with us, or would you prefer to answer the call?
Stephen. Okay.
The recording. All right, and welcome back. So
Yeah.
Sudesh, the question is, as you see, to do, I've tapped here. It is a paragraph. You can see the paragraph because of the paragraph icon, and
typical paragraph icon.
On the paragraph. All right. So I would like to change this into a heading. How to do that? How can I change from a paragraph block to a heading block?
I've actually, like I said, I worked with my wife on this. She's she's just starting out, so we need to find what's called the common blocks or something like that, and look for the heading.
Okay.
Area.
Yes.
The heading block.
Yes, you can do that. There is an easier way, and this is you go to the paragraph icon, you left click on it, and on the drop down you choose heading. So
and then you go to heading.
On heading. Now it is heading, and by default gives us H2. So I am going to click on H3. So let's do H3. Great, and update. So update plugins. So Jens and Sudesh, you are going to speak to your director, and you are going to find out from him if you can go ahead and update the plugins yourself. All right?
Yes.
I have to tell you that before you speak to your director, phone your hosting company and make sure that indeed your entire website is updated on a daily basis. Because if this is not the case and you enable auto updates or you do it manually and it breaks something on your website and you cannot restore your website, then this is very serious. All right. So you want to find out from your hosting company that indeed they do a complete backup and that it is easy for you or for them to restore that complete backup if the need arises one day. All right. And then you come here and you update those 5 and then go to the first one, better search replace, and enable all of those. I just want to see a small plugin for running a search replace on your WordPress website. And you know what, guys? This is on WordPress. Something you do is you learn all the time. And better search replace. I am going to have a look at this plugin, category order, contact form. This I wouldn't recommend at all. Email newsletter plugin for WordPress. The ultimate newsletter plugin. Well, I have MailChimp. MailChimp is the ultimate plugin for newsletters, rearrange WooCommerce. Yeah, and a plugin to arrange WooCommerce products listed on the shop page. Maybe this one. Let me make a note of this. So rearrange WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the best by far. Is the best by far. Widgets, content blocks, WooCommerce and Yoast, the best. All right, so you don't have so many plugins. Your website is actually a very good looking website, eh? Okay. I quickly went through it and then I clicked on news and you have this featured product. Now,
Yes.
why do you have this featured product and the news? What is the purpose of having news? Yes, Sudesh and
Good question.
Jens, you know,
Yeah.
why have you got this news page with only one product?
Yeah, true. It should be featured products.
Yeah,
Maybe news.
I agree with you. It could be featured products, or if you have only
Yeah.
one main one, then perhaps can be featured product. But then news, this news, having a page for news is
Yeah.
vital. Is vital, guys. This is where
Is it?
you
Okay.
launch information about. On the other hand, I saw that you have the downloads. Maybe this is what you maybe this is what you intend having as news is feeder protection relay. But
No. This is software that the clients would use. So they would come to this page for details, for technical details and software on the products. So
okay.
downloads is just a typical page that we would have for the technical field.
I see. All right. And so going back, you should have a news for news, just that. So Sudesh
Yeah, true.
and Jens, you have launched a new product or new technology or whatever the case is at Eskom or any other client of yours, then you want to put the news on that news page. And I am going to show you, this is where we will end out our or conclude our day one training today, is I am going to show you how to create that page. And then I am going to give you homework. I am going to ask each of you to please create news. So you're going to create an article about something important that your company has done that you feel you could share to other clients of yours, because other clients could also be interested in using the same product or the same technology or whatever the case is. So I'm going to give you homework, and then on Friday, this is what we're going to do. We are going to check how you have created that particular, is called a post. In WordPress, you have pages and you have posts. Okay, they are very similar. If something stays on forever, like the home page, then you create a page. Okay, so if you have something like news, that you create a page for the news, and then on that page, all your articles are going to display. So what I mean by that is, let me just move this Zoom bar, which is on the way. You know, of course, you can't see the Zoom bar because I am giving, I am the one hosting.
Yeah.
I have two Zoom bars, one at the bottom here and one at the very top. So I am going to click on posts. I am going to click on posts. Now, this is a bit confusing, but it becomes clear, you know, as you start working on it. This posts was created on a page, and this page displays all my posts. Okay, it sounds a bit confusing, but it is not, guys. Don't worry about what you'll have to do is learn how to create a post, and then everything else will fall into place. So this is my latest post. Review site reviews plugin. So as you can see, I have a featured image. Okay, I have the categories and tags. Okay, and this is a snippet of what my post is all about. And it says here, read more. Okay, and you can share this, and then there is the next one, and then read more. Then there is the next one. Okay, this and read more, and the next one, and so on and so forth. This is do you blog. All right, so let's go back to the very top of this blog's page, and here I am going to click on read more. So let's say that you found this little bit of information of interest and you'd like to find out more. So you click on it. Now, where are we? So gentlemen, this is a blog post. This is not a page. This is a blog post. Okay, so has got the featured image, okay, has got the title, has got categories and tags, and this is, okay, I'm using a particular plugin that enables me to have different background colors for blocks and everything else. So, and this is my article. That is my article. I happen to have screenshot on it. So if I click on it, so it expands a little bit. It makes it a little bit clearer. All right. And continue and let it review. And this is another plugin for reviews and so on and so forth. But this is my blog post. This is my blog post. And so let's recap. On my menu, I have this posts
Yes.
tab, which is called posts. I have clicked on it, and the posts page appears displaying all my posts. This is one post. If I click on read more, I'll be able to read more. One can read more, obviously. Another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. If we didn't have this, imagine that that each post was displayed in its entirety. Do you know how boring it would be for a user trying to find out something of interest, okay, and having to scroll through every single post? So what you do in in this way is you just have a snippet that has the featured image, that has the title of that particular post, displays categories and tags, and then a little bit of information only to whet one's appetite. So if the person is interested on this particular article, he or she just clicks on read more. Okay, so this is the homework I am going to give you today. Is I am going to ask you to create, each of you to create an article, and it must be as relevant as possible to your work, whatever work you do. If you are in finances, if you are in storage, if you are in charge of I don't know, whatever, it must be relevant to what you do. And by the way, and that post, we are going to show to the world on Friday, but then if you are not interested in displaying it in public, and then of course, you can delete or you can change into a draft and etc. So there are many possibilities. Okay, with this conversation, so this is what you are going to do, Jens and Sudesh. Please contact you direct and just find out. And before that, speak to your hosting company and make sure that, you know what, this can be very serious. So perhaps when you speak to the hosting company, you should ask them to send you in writing that indeed they do back up 100% of your website. You phone them and you say, I am going to send an email. To whom should I address the email? I want to find out if you guys do 100% backup, because I've heard horror stories out there, okay? And it mustn't happen to us. Our website is very important. And so to whom should I address the email? You send the email and then you wait for the reply, and you don't do any changes until you get confirmation that they do that. If they don't, then I strongly recommend that you install Jetpack. Okay, important plugins. And I'm going to put them in alphabetical order. All these are important. I'm not going to tell you that backup and restore from Jetpack is more important than WordFence. They are equally important. I'm going to put a Jetpack on its own, because Jetpack is not only for backup and restore. Jetpack is a plugin developed by WordPress.com, and they have lots of features in this particular plugin. So it's a multi-plugin, all under the umbrella of Jetpack. And most of the plugins in Jetpack are free. Okay, it so happens that the backup, which is within Jetpack, is not free. But remember that these guys in storage, I wouldn't even try and guess how much money they are spending in storage, because they have thousands of websites that they are backing up. So I'm thinking about it, $9 actually is not expensive. Okay. You know what? At the end of this training, you will not be experts on WordPress, but you'll know a lot about WordPress, and I hope that you have the interest in continuing with WordPress, because WordPress is fascinating. It's absolutely unreal what you can do with WordPress. Okay, so this is all I wanted to tell you on now let's have a look. Dashboard, posts, media, pages, comments and projects, logos, newsletter, widget, blogs, products. So let's go to settings. Now this is interesting. You have a contact form here. Contact form.
Yeah.
But you have another contact there. Contact form, let me just see. Or possibly these have been integrated. Maybe this is the case. Contact form. Product inquiry, request a quote, subscribe form. Well, you know, I'm not going to spend any time on this. There are so many contact forms out there. Now, okay, I'm going to leave it. Let's go to settings. This you need for any website. So Sudesh, you said you and your wife, you tried to put a website together. Well, this is where you should start, is on settings. This is where you should start with any WordPress website. Site title is WoodBeam. The tagline relays, is this correctly spelled? SCADA, is this correct?
SCADA, yeah, that's correct.
And metering. WordPress address. Okay, I'm very happy. I am clapping, guys. I'm very happy that you are with HTTPS. So it used to be HTTP, and Google introduced the S factor, which stands for security. So it is an additional security for websites. And I tell you that if you don't have the S in the end, Google will downrank you in Google search. So well done, guys. Administration email address, it is Gerald at, this probably is your developer. Membership, anyone can register, new user, subscriber. This is very good. English US, well, there is, are you selling anything in the United States, or is your client base in South Africa and Africa?
It's South Africa and Africa.
And Africa. So guys, I am telling you these things, and would you please make notes? Would you take notes, Jens and Sudesh? Site language, I would recommend you to change to English South Africa. There is now a English South Africa.
Okay.
This was not the case until quite recently. Now, where are we? So it should have been in alphabetical order. So what happened? Now it's not even in alphabetical order. Afrikaans, it is the Afrikaans, and then Arabic, English there. South Africa. Guys, and this is what you do. You just click on, and can I do it? Can I do like this? Sudesh and Jens, or would you prefer you to?
Sorry?
Can I change, or would you prefer you to do it on your own time?
You might, yeah, it's fine. You can change it now.
All right, so English South Africa, and time zone, you want to have Johannesburg. So how to do it? You can choose UTC +2, or you can go to Africa and then Johannesburg. So the continents are in alphabetical order. So Johannesburg, you go to Johannesburg, okay, and date format you can leave as is, and time format you can leave as is. Week starts on Monday, it's fine, and you click on Save Changes. So it is now saving, and this would be impossible to break anything. I mean, I have never seen these minor changes breaking a website. So this is why I offered to do for you. Let's go to your website and make sure that your website is still there. So I am going to refresh the page. You know, breaking websites, oh boy, this is, you don't want that to happen. Obviously, everything is there. This was a very minor change. Now, what I recommend you to do, gentlemen, is you see there, settings saved. But don't just rely on what it says there, settings save. Scroll down and make sure that the changes you did are indeed there. English, South Africa, Johannesburg. Yeah, well done. So now we go to writing. Okay. And default mail, example, login, a password, and categorize. Everything is fine there. I'm not going to save anything. So let's go to reading. And static page, home and post page. Yes, you don't have a post page. You don't have a post page. Now, to complicate things a little bit, the news should have been news and not featured product. You should have this in featured product. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So let's create a page which you are going to title featured, just featured. Guys, remember, this is your menu, and your menu has a constraint, is limited in space. If instead of just having one word, home, products, about us is 2 words, but it's okay because it's short. Downloads, news, contact us is fine. But now imagine if you have these 2 long words, featured product, featured product. One day you are going to have another very important page to display, but you can't because you don't have any space left, right? So what I would recommend is that when you create a page for featured product, you title it only featured, okay? So let's do it right now. And what I am going to do, I would like to leave this page open. So I am going to copy and paste. And because that was erroneously did and a news, let's see if we can perhaps copy. So I'm going to go to pages and click on all pages, right? You have 15 pages and 14 are published. Okay, about us, DV, cart page, checkout page, contact us, DV, downloads, DV, home, front page, my accounts, news, DV. So this news, this complicates things a little bit because news has been created on the DV page, privacy, products, shop success, contact. Can we? So it allows us to clone. Okay, we write and republish, edit with DV. So I am going to clone. Page opens. So this is your original page, and this is the cloned page. Customization draft, DV. So let's go to edit. It's still going. A bit on the slow side. It could be anything. Could be Vumatel, could be, okay, I'm going to close this. This layout is built to be.
Yeah, you need to ask him when he's going to start with it.
This is not start this afternoon or tomorrow. Well, do it, but then don't take them. It won't take them forever. So let's take the start and give it.
Yeah, but he mustn't mix it up with the current scheme,
Yeah.
which is like each.
Yeah. Okay.
And Sudesh?
Yes.
And Sudesh, you know what? I'm not
Yeah.
going to, I'm just doing this on a test basis. I am
Okay.
not going to leave this on a permanent basis. It is only for testing for us. And then you can speak to your director. And then on Friday, you tell me if we can go ahead with this page or not. So what I'll do is
Publish it, yeah.
I'll save as a draft, and
Yeah.
then you guys decide. And by Friday, you tell me yes or no, you know, so, and for now, it is only a test. Okay, so it is called news, and I'm not going to use DV. I am going to use Gutenberg because you do have Gutenberg, which is phenomenal. So let's see. But interesting enough, okay, return to the default editor. So I'm going to click on return to the default editor, right? And it is news, and I am going to say hi there. So hi there, and I am going to save the draft. It is now saving. Okay, and I'm just waiting a few moments. Saving, saved, as you can see there, saved. And I am going to preview this. I'm using a desktop, yes, and preview in new tab. I'd like to see this in a brand new tab. Okay, so this is how it shows. News, hi there. Okay, let's go to your news page. This is your news page. Okay, and this is, so the difference is we have to take this right sidebar out. Let's see if we can. You know, I don't know your particular theme, and there are thousands of themes out there. So let's see if your theme allows that. So permalink, featured image, excerpt, discussion, page attributes, page layout. So I am going to say no sidebar, and I'm going to save the draft. Okay, saved the draft. Let's wait a few moments. I could now have clicked on preview there, or I can go to this page and refresh. So this should disappear. Let's see if this is the case. Yeah, it's gone. So it is more like it. The only thing you have on this particular page is that you have the featured image. So let's go to this particular. So what I am going to do is I'm going to click on edit page. I'm not going to edit this page at all. I just want to see what you have, how this particular page was set. So as you see, it's very easy. You just click on. So this layout is both with DV and featured image. It's excerpt, nothing, discussion, nothing, page attributes, default template, default template. DV page settings, page attributes. It is also default template we have on ours. You know what, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this particular to find out what your theme has and all that. But the reason why, so I'm going to go back. This will be needing a little bit of time. This page has got this layout because this was added onto your theme. This is why it displays. So let's go back here. And this hi there, I am going to remove the block. And I'm going to try and use the DV builder. I have to tell you, I don't have, I have never created any websites on the DV builder. But let's go there,
Okay.
the DV builder. So wait, edit with the DV builder. The DV builder is activated on this page. To edit your page using the builder, click edit with the DV builder. So edit, click there. It's going. These days, you know, Gutenberg block editor, you can do anything on the Gutenberg block editor. And so it allows you from the front end. But interesting enough, okay, so oh God, you know what, this, yeah, you'd have to decide how you want to insert rows and things like this. I'm not going to waste any time on this one. So let's do without that featured image. Let's do without the featured image. Let me go back. Okay, so I'm going to leave this page as you have. I'm not going to do any changes, but on the new page that we are going to create, this is not going to display. The featured image is not going to display. So let's go there. Let's work on Gutenberg, and let's close. Let me close this bar. Okay, and I don't want the DV. And return to the default editor. And save draft. Okay, so the homework I am going to give you at the end of the day is I am going to ask you to please continue on this page, without the DV, not using the DV. So you are using the Gutenberg block editor. Now, for you to just appreciate the number of features that Gutenberg block editor has these days, all you do is you, as I mentioned to you early on, if you'd like to create a new block, you enter. By default, you are on the paragraph block, or you click on the plus sign, right, and gives you the six most used blocks on your website. Okay, but this is nothing. If you want to view all of them, okay, Jens has joined your meeting. Okay, you can click on browse all, or you can click on the plus sign over there. So let's click on browse all, and there you are. So guys, just to have a look at the blocks. For text blocks, you have all that. Let's continue scrolling down. For media, you have 1, 2, 3, a total of 7. So can be image, can be gallery, can be media and text, can be video. If design, you have a couple. Widgets, you have lots of widgets. Embeds, you can embed a YouTube video, a Twitter, you can embed Instagram, Spotify, anything. It goes on forever. And Ted, if you are into Vimeo, Amazon, if you sell on Amazon, etc. Then on WooCommerce, lots and lots and lots of blocks. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So this is why I said that. And if you do Jetpack, then Jetpack will display here, and you'll have lots of additional plugins on Jetpack. So these days, you don't have to use Divi. You don't have to use any other page builder. You can do everything on Gutenberg. But you have as I mentioned earlier on, you have a beautiful website. Okay, so I would not change. Those pages that were created on Divi, you leave as Divi. But going forward, I would recommend that you use the Gutenberg block editor and you bypass Divi altogether. Divi will always be there. Look, you can still use Divi. You just click there and then you can continue the creation of your page or post on Divi. But Divi is going to take you a lot of time to learn. Okay, and the problem is that, well, it's not the problem. What is happening is that Gutenberg is launching new plugins, new features on a continuous basis, and so is Divi. Okay, so just now you are not going to have the time to keep up with all the developments on both Divi and Gutenberg Block Editor. And do not discard Gutenberg Block Editor, because this is the default editor, the new default editor by WordPress. And so, you know, until about 2 years, this Gutenberg block editor was launched 2 years ago. Everyone was using the classic editor. There was an uproar, outcry out there. Developers all around the world were mad at WordPress.com, and WordPress.com said that they were going to enforce Gutenberg block editor at the end of that year. And then they postponed a bit, and then COVID happened. And so they now have postponed again, I think, until the end of this year. Many people are still using the classic editor. And I have to tell you that I have used the classic editor for many years. I was very happy with it. I was so upset when Gutenberg block editor was launched, and so were many developers, as I just mentioned. And now I look back and I think, wow, how could I ever have used classic editor? Well, there was no choice, no other options, unless you used a page builder like Divi. This is why Divi and many other page builders exist, is because the classic editor was quite limited in the features they offered. So WordPress was losing a lot of business to these page builders. And so they decided also to move onto the block editor, and eventually WordPress will remove the classic editor out altogether. So now is the time to move into the Gutenberg editor. You are already on the Gutenberg editor. It so happens that additionally you have the Divi builder. All right, but what I'm saying is that Gutenberg is launching new features, and you are not going to have enough time to keep up with developments on both Gutenberg block editor and the Divi builder. So learn Gutenberg as much as you possibly can. Keep up with all the developments. As far as Divi, I'm not going to put the Divi down. Divi is a reputable page builder, is a very good page builder. Only I wonder what the future of some of these page builders, including Divi, is going to be in the face of Gutenberg and block editor. Okay, so what else? Reading, we did. A static page. Now, the reason I brought you here was because I wanted to create a post page for you. So what I am going to call this page, okay, what I am going to call this page is news test news. Okay. Okay. So test news, and you don't have any posts as yet. So I'm going to publish this, and don't worry, and publish. So you click twice, publish and publish. So it has been published, as you can see here, right? And now I go back to this right sidebar, and I click on that cross over there. Okay, so this, it brings this back. So I am going to scroll down a little bit where it says a permalink. I click on the downward arrow and here, view page. So it opens in a new tab altogether. So this is very useful. So this is our brand new page. Okay, it's test news. And this is, let us assume that this is the page that we wanted to create for you to post all your articles on, and then you'd have that read more button I showed you early on, and the person can click there and go to that particular post. Right, so this is going to become our blog post page, right? So we go to reading and post page. So it is called test. It's not displaying here because we have to refresh this page. Okay, so let's go there. And there it is. Man, I have the zoom bar right in here. So post page and test news. Okay. Now, blog page 10 posts, syndication feeds show the most recent 10 items, for each post in the feed show the full summary. Okay, discourage search engines? Definitely not. I mean, you want search engines to find your website. So I'm going to click on Save Changes. Okay, and let's go down. And in the summary, everything is fine. Now, I am going to stop this. Before going to discussion, I am going to stop. And I want to add that item onto your menu, which I'll delete at the end of the training, but only to show you how to do it. So you go to Appearance, and you click on menus. Okay, click on menus. And so you have main navigation, which is great. Primary menu, everything here is 100%. Okay, so what we want to add that test. It should have come there by default. It didn't. So let's search. Test news is the post page, and add to menu. Okay, and it always adds onto the bottom of your menu. Whatever you, when you check a particular field and you click on add to menu, it will always bring onto the very bottom, and then you can move it around. So let's say that we'd like to have this test news in between news and contact us. So you just move it up. Now, I am going to show you something, a small trick that is going to make your life so much easier going forward. If you want to have, okay, what are those? Relays, substation automation, and metering. These are sub-items of products. This is a drop-down of products. So how is this done? Well, let's say that you wanted to have test news, a drop-down of news. So how to do it is very easy. You just do like this. You do like this, okay, and you save menu. I'll remove afterwards. Let's save menu. It is now saving. Okay, it's done. So I go here, and it will appear here. It will appear on the drop down, exactly the same as you have that. This is a drop down. So let's refresh the page. Okay, and there it is. So there is your test news. There it is. Well done, guys. So this is how you do it. But I just found out something interesting. And this, in fact, the test news I have created. I have created as test news posts page. No, it's fine. This is definitely fine. Everything here is 100%. Everything is 100%. Okay. Now, I am going to remove because I don't want this to show to your clients if anyone is, whoever is visiting. So I'm going to remove. You just remove like this, but it is still in the admin area of your website. So if you go to search and if you click on test news, as you can see, it is still there. So you just click on it and add onto menu if you'd like to add back onto your menu. Of course, I'm not going to do it that now because it's there only for training purposes, only to show you how it is done. So very, very easily, guys, very easy to add pages and posts onto your WordPress website. Okay, so where were we? We were in settings and we were going to do discussion. So let's do that. Leave site, changes you may. Okay, so always remember to save menu. This symbol. So cancel, let me cancel that and save menu. I forgot to save the menu. All right, so let's go down and make sure that, yes, news as it was, and your the test news is no longer showing. Is this really the case? Well, let's find out. So now it is showing, but if I refresh, it will disappear. Always check, guys, always check. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, always check back, always check back. A few seconds is going to save you a couple of hours later on. Okay, so we were what has happened to menus? So let's go back onto settings and discussion. Default post settings, attempt to notify any blogs linked from a post, allowing notifications from other blogs, allow people to submit comments on new posts. This is very, very important. Now, interesting enough, you have this checked, allow people to submit comments on new posts, but you don't have any posts. Hey,
Yeah.
Sudesh, Jens?
Yes. No, it's not something that we're going to have. We're not going to have that function.
Aren't you going to have posts? Aren't you going to display things? No, I see.
No.
Okay, in any case, I'm going to leave that checked. Other comment settings, a comment author must fill out name and email. I agree with that. Users must be registered and logged into comment. Automatically close comments on pages. If you have good comments, why close them? Show comments, cookies, opt-in checkbox, enable threaded nested comments 5 levels deep, break comments into pages with 50 top levels comment per page. The last page displayed by default. Comment should be displayed with the older, with the newer. You're not going to have anyone, but in any case, just for the sake of completeness, I am going to do that. Okay, and Sudesh and Jens, I strongly recommend that you speak to your company director. And there are a couple of things here you have to do. Look, you are using the elegant theme, and it says your subscription has expired. Renew your account. So things like this, you don't want this to start, breaking your website, etc. You didn't set your premium license key yet. So how come you have SEO premium and you haven't set your license key yet?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not important. So this you can change, you can update. Of course, it's very easy on those updates. But so something which is very important for you are these two things. One is your elegant themes subscription. You know what? If you now decide to leave elegant themes or stop subscribing to them, it is going to mess up your website going forward. Eventually, maybe not in the next 2 months, but in 3 months' time, you come back to your website and it looks very ugly. It looks very ugly. All right. So this is something that you have to do. You see, if you don't use any page builder, now you can do everything on Gutenberg, and it is free. Gutenberg is free. Okay, and another thing which is very important is your Yoast. You didn't need the premium version, and to start off with, so the free version is good enough. So I don't know what to say here. You already have the premium. You have already paid for it. So if you have paid for it, well, you have to enter your license key, because otherwise it is as if you were not using the SEO plugin. Perhaps you should come back for training on the SEO plugin. SEO, well, it's more than on the Yoast plugin. It is everything about SEO. Okay, continuing. Newer, we have that. Email me whenever anyone posts a comment. A comment is held for moderation. Before comment appears, comment must be manually approved. No, definitely not. Comment author must definitely not. Definitely not. Comment moderation, hold a comment in the queue if it contains 2 or more links. Why? A common characteristic of comment spam is a large number of hyperlinks. Now you know. So this allowed comment keys. When a comment contains any of these words in its content, author name, URL, email address, etc. So this will prevent that person from again leaving a comment, provided you have his or her email address. So gmail.com, you enter 1 per line. At yahoo.com, you enter 1 per line. Of course, these guys are very bright and they have a lot of time to waste. So they will register with another email address, and you put the other email address here again. All right. And eventually they are going to give up and move on to greener pastures. Okay, so this is how you do it. Avatars suitable for all audiences. Mystery person, curve avatar, mystery person, identicon. You know what? You're not going to have anybody leaving. I'm going to save changes. I just would like to show you on my. Let me go to my website. So let's go to training. Just waiting.
I don't have any other ones.
Guys, so this is how it would display if you allowed comments and visitors, etc. Is everyone who visits your website would display here. You can have a maximum up to 50. So I have a maximum of to 50. Those are my new, is a new plugin I have. Okay, and InstaFeed and all that. I mean, this is a company I am hosting with. It says starter at $3.95, but because I have lots of plugins, I am on the most expensive. And here, site stats, it shows that 91,934 page views I have it on my website. So if you have a lot of traffic, this would be good for you to display your site stats. If your website is quite new, then of course you don't want to display the site stats, but perhaps you'd like to display the community. So guys, here on the right hand side, these are widgets. These are, they allow even additional functionality to your website. So this is a widget which is called Google Review. All right, so 4.9 out of everyone who has cared to leave a review on Google. Okay, so now I just, so discussion, we have done that, done that, and that. Email me whenever, yes, this we did. So, and we fixed, we changed to Identicon and we saved. We saved, and at the very top, now how come it doesn't show has been saved? Let me do it again. Save changes. Save changes. Okay. But interesting
It's
enough.
not at the bottom of the discussion settings, but
Is it at the bottom, Jens?
No, where all those error messages are.
On top.
Yeah, to the
There,
bottom
there. I thank you, Jens. I thank you. Settings have been saved at the bottom of this. Yes. You know what, guys? You want to clear all this, but don't just and click on the cross there. I'm sorry, on the cross there. Resolve the issues, and then the issues will disappear on their own. So let's go to media. Let's go to media settings with 150, 150, 300, 300, 102, 400. Everything here is 100%. Let's go to programming. I am sure this is 100%. Okay. So interesting. It shows custom structure. And I'm not going to change that. And this is fine. This is fine. There is no need for this. All you need is post name. This is all you needed, but I'm not going to change anything here. And in fact, I have never come across a website that the developer has opted for custom structure. The post name is all you need, but I'm going to leave this as is, okay? And let's see, let's leave as, maybe he did this because of WooCommerce. I don't know. I don't know what the, you know, the reason for it, but don't change anything if this is what he has, because if this is now linked onto your WooCommerce, and if you change this onto post name, is going to break your website. So don't. Okay. Is there anything else we have to do on settings? Duplicate post. Why have a duplicate post? Why have a duplicate post? And what I mean by that is, let me go to what, not on this page. Let me go to training, and I would like to, let me move the zoom out. So let me click on edit page. Edit page. Taking a bit of time. Taking a bit of time. I really enjoy the internet, but when it's slow like this, can be a little bit frustrating. Okay, I'm just waiting for completion. I don't want to move out, and just now it is going to save when the page did not fully download. Still going. But yes, you know, the new editor of WordPress is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. How much one can do, not just in terms of all the features, but also in terms of speed. You know, you can copy blocks, you can duplicate blocks, you can move blocks to other pages and post, etc. So I am going to click there. Leave. So let's look for both. Let's look. This is a page. Okay, so and we are on pages. And if I tap, I'm going to go to post. It's exactly the same thing. If I do a search for training, then it's going to give me all the training pages I have, and I have lots. Okay, so a review. Guys, have a look. The moment I hover over a particular post, okay, I get these options: edit, quick edit, copy. Look, it's there. It's there. Okay. And with all this, I forget where I was on your website. Okay, it was to show you that duplicate posts, you don't need this plugin at all, because on Gutenberg, by default, you have not just duplicate posts, but you have duplicate page as well. So this is one of those plugins that you actually do not need. Okay, but I'm just going to click on it and see what you have. So what to copy? Post page, title, excerpt, content. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this because Gutenberg, this is what Gutenberg does. But in any case, this I am sure must be a good plugin. The only thing is, guys, going forward, you will be installing additional plugins. There is always a need for other innovations. Developers launch new plugins, etc., which are really applicable to your particular work, and you need those plugins. But don't end up with 100 plugins, 100 plugins, because having too many plugins is also bad. Just think of the code that now you have on your poor website has to deal with all this code, and it's going to slow, it's going to cause all sorts of problems. So plugins that you don't need, you can do one of two things. One is you can disable them, right, as I have done, or you can delete them. Delete them if you are really sure, like in this particular case, that you don't need. Disable them if maybe one day in future you are going to need them again. But this particular one you definitely do not need because Gutenberg has a better one by default. Okay, so those are the important settings that I wanted to discuss with you. Now let's look into appearance. But what I suggest is, you know what, we still have 1 hour left. And guys, what about just having a 5-minute break for a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, water, move the legs around, etc. And then we come back. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Sudesh.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
And Jens. And so
Yeah.
I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, cheers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going, you know what, I am going to leave everything on. The only thing I am going to
Yes.
pause is going to be the recording. If this was a widget with lots of settings and you don't want to lose the settings, so what you're going to do is you are going to bring this widget down to inactive widgets. So you go all the way down, you scroll down, and you would place it there, inactive widgets. And the settings will remain for as long as you have your website. So this is very useful. This is very useful. Okay, so on menus, let's have a more detailed look into menus. Whenever you add a page or a post, if you add a page, it will display here. If you add a post, it will display there. If you didn't have this, the DV, okay, whenever you add a page, it should display at the very top where it says most recent. And there you can view them all in alphabetical order. They are in alphabetical, they should be in alphabetical order. But again, because of DV, it is distorting that a little bit, but it's fine. Okay, so you can see, let's start with A, C, C, M, etc., N, and S. Fine. And if for whatever reason is not displayed here, which it should, you can always do a search over there. So let's go back to most recent. There's these pages, and you can add all these pages onto your menu, or you can only choose a few of the pages to display on your menu. But you can also display on your menu your posts or custom links or categories. In this particular case, even WooCommerce endpoints. Let's have a look at what they have: orders, downloads, addresses, account details, etc. Okay, so you don't have any posts, and you're not going to have any posts, you said. But if you'd like, let's say, featured news article, let's add this one. So you check that box and you click on add to menu, and it moves on to the bottom of your menu, as I mentioned earlier on. And from here, you can go up and down. And if this is a drop down, then you are going to indent this slightly. And you can indent and indent some more, okay? So no problem with that. But we don't need this. So I am going to remove. Remove. Right, and everything else you have on this menu page of yours has been correctly set. So let's have a look at what other you have: sidebar menu, secondary menu, sidebar, and product menu. But you are on the right one, main navigation, as the world will see. So if you change anything, you click on select, okay? And the save menu, okay, is fine, and primary menu is fine. So this has been done 100%. And if you are really experts on code, so I haven't, you know, I don't know why he's asking me if I want to. I'm going to cancel. I haven't done any changes here. So let me go to theme editor, move the theme bar, I can hardly see, and leave. Right, so if you are an expert in code, this meaning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, at least on those 4 languages, then you should be good enough to change your code. So I understand I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to show you where you can change the code for your website. And this is it. So you go there and you choose whatever on the right hand side. So a popular one to change is header, and it changes the header on all the pages and posts of your website. All right, guys, we're not going to do anything here. We're going to leave this as is. Now, one of the beauties of WordPress is that you can do everything in English, or from Afrikaans through Arabic to Zulu. You can do in any of those languages. And this is why you have plugins which enable you to do unbelievable stuff on your website, and you'll never have to touch code. Okay, so I'm not going to update anything. This is basically it. Now, let's quickly do a little bit of work on Gutenberg, the block editor. Okay, so since you're not going, and Sudesh, you said you're not going to have, posts, you're not going to publish articles. Yeah. However, Sudesh, just keep in the back of your mind that posting articles on a regular basis is very helpful with your SEO. Very, very helpful with your SEO. It shows Google and other search engines, such as Bing, Microsoft Bing and others, that you are very serious about your website. And these search engines want to see that you have traffic. Okay, and one way of attracting
some activity,
is exactly that, is having activity. So you post on a regular basis, and your post has content in terms of text and in terms of images. So, and think, all of us, and Sudesh, you and Jens and me and all of us, we are super busy. But make this part of your routine, and perhaps once every 3 weeks or so, you sit down and you spend 2 or 3 hours, and you put out an article. And then the beauty about this is, I don't know what the settings are on your website, on your mail and all that, but in my particular case, I have 2 things. One, I send a newsletter out on a regular basis, informing, I have to tell you that I used to be very regular on a weekly basis, but I no longer have time for that. So I send a newsletter out to everyone on my list, informing them of latest, whatever happens to be latest. And I also have a particular plugin that allows people to sign up And whenever I post anything new, they automatically get notified. This is very, very, very useful. I wanted to put up a video on must-have plugins, and this is one of those plugins that I don't have to even bother with a newsletter, because if they have signed in, then that they will be notified straight away. Okay, so what we're going to do now is on your particular on your admin area, I am going to go to pages. Okay, and I'm going to create a brand new page. This is important, guys. You must know how to create a page and how to create a post. So let's just go there, and I'm not going to use Divi at all. I'm not going to use Divi. I'm going to use here it offers me the options: use Divi Builder or use the default editor. So I'm going to go for default editor, and there's test page. Okay. So I'm going to go to paragraph, or I could have gone by default, and I am you have a good website. So if I want a new paragraph, I just enter, and by default gives me a new paragraph. It is important for you to update your plugins. Okay. Renew your Divi subscription. You know, I am not going to say forget about Divi, remove Divi, because if you do remove Divi, it is going to break your website. So you just have to continue with Divi unless you have had a bit of practice with WordPress. You know what you are doing, so you can remove Divi altogether and move everything into the editor by default of WordPress, which is the Gutenberg block editor. But you better know what you are doing, otherwise you're going to break the whole thing. Okay, it is important for you to update your plugins, renew your subscription. So I want to make this, you have a good website, I would like to have an introduction, right? So introduction. Now let's change this block into a heading. I click there and I click on heading, and I'm going to leave introduction. I'm going to leave as H2. Okay, so now let's say that in between these two blocks, gentlemen, I would like to have an image, right? So I enter, and now gives me the paragraph. As I said, the paragraph block is what you get all the time. But now I don't want a paragraph, I want an image. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, and here I have paragraph, heading, contact form, Divi. I want image. And there is an image. Okay. So as you see, there are a couple of blocks that give you that possibility: image, gallery, cover, media, and text. So let's say that I'm going to go for just one image. I could upload, but let's see what you have in your, I could insert from URL. Let's see what you have in your media library. So let's go to media library, and those are the images you have. You have quite a number, I'm sure. All right, you have quite a number. Okay, so let's say that I would like to have this one. Now, on the right-hand side, you can see the sizes. 3648 by 2736 pixels. And this is good enough. Okay. Okay, so to do update plugins, let me just write something here. I am going to say, keep in mind. Okay, so heading and H3. Okay, and I'm going to say, keep in mind. And then I am going to have a subheading, and I am going to say featured image. Featured image, and I'm going to change this to a heading, and I am going to go to H4, H5. Let's just see. H4, almost the same as a paragraph. Okay, I don't like this. So I'm going to go to H3. So featured image must be a minimum of 1200 pixels in width by 675 pixels in height. Right, so just remember that, guys. Just remember that, because if you have an image which is smaller in size, then WordPress will try to enlarge it, and then the resolution and definition of that image is going to look very, very, very bad. So I'm going to click on update. Okay, news. I am going to close that page. I am going to close this page. Where are we? Test news. We don't need that. Okay, so this image is fine. Okay, I'm not going to do anything more. This is what is this? So do you call this wind power? Wind power, is this correct? Wind power. Jens and
Yes.
And Sudesh, wind power.
Yes.
Let's see if and splash. So how come if I, let's go to Unsplash and splash and wind power. Wind power. That's funny, huh? Wind power there. Ah, look at this. Look at this. Look at, gee, what happened there? I'm glad we were not there, hey guys? Gee, this must have been terrible. And they have this in the ocean as well. Interesting, hey? Okay. So these are absolutely beautiful images. And do you know what? They are for free. They are for free. So how do you go about it? You do the following. You click on the image, okay? And then, you know, I have recently cleaned up my computer, removed all the history and cookies and everything else. So I'll have to again log in to Unsplash. And right now I don't remember what my login is, and I'm not going to waste any time looking for it. But all I want to tell you is, if you are going to use an image, have the courtesy of clicking the heart, which is like. Okay, in this case, he's asking me, so I'm not going to bother about it. Okay, so you click there on like, and then don't click on download free. Go onto the downward arrow. Don't go for small. As you see, the small is too small. Large can be too large. Remember, the bigger the image, the more size it is occupying on your website, and the slower eventually, if you have hundreds, thousands of images, the slower your website is going to be. So choose medium, because we said it must be a minimum of 1,200 1200 by 675. Okay, so that will be too small. That is too large. Medium is fine. So all you do is you click on medium. I'm not going to do it all the way, but I'm just going to show you how you do it. And there is my image. And then, guys, copy this photo by Costin on Unsplash. Okay, I am going to copy. And of course, you go there, you double click, it opens, and then you save as, and you decide where you're going to save. So isn't that absolutely beautiful? Guys, you won't have better quality than on Unsplash. And then you right click and you save as, and you go ahead and you save it. Okay, so for now, I am going to delete because I don't need, I just wanted to show you how to do it. Now we have copied, here it says, say thanks. Give a shout out to Costin, I'm not really sure, I don't know how it's pronounced, on social, or copy the text below to attribute. So this is exactly what I always do. I copy, and then I go to the page I am working in. Okay, let me close that. And somewhere on the page, normally and towards the bottom, I paste. Okay, and what I say there is the photo by, and just remember to make this open on a new tab. So you highlight it, okay, and you click open in new tab. And you do the same with Unsplash. Guys, if you are using this image for free, this is the least we can do, is say thank you to the author. Remember, you're not paying them anything, huh? So at least you can say thank you and put their name here. And by the way, these people, of course, they love their photography and everything else, but they also need work. So if they have many likes and if their photo is shared many times, it is going to help them on their portfolio. There's another side to this coin, and this is if you don't put the attribute here, and if they were to be nasty, and the vast majority of them are very nice people, but if someone wanted to be nasty, they could email you and say, remove the photo. They could legally do that, but they don't, all right? And now, so Unsplash is a free website, has got thousands, literally thousands of photos. So instead of you going to some website and paying for the image, well, look on Unsplash first and decide if you find a good image. Okay, so I am going to put there, and just want to see introduction, test page. Actually, I was over here. So to do, keep in mind, important plugins, keep in mind, is keep in mind or just keep in mind, it's fine. So I'm going to put another.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm going to say an excellent photo website is called Unsplash. So unsplash.com. Unsplash. Now, guys, how do you hyperlink? You highlight it, you go to the hyperlink button over there, left click on it, and you type or you paste the URL. But then remember to open in new tab. Just click there, and then you enter. Now, there it is. Okay, update. Let's see if this is the case. Okay, and where to see it, I could have clicked there, but if I click there, it's going to replace this page with the page for the world to see. And I would like to have two tabs, one for the back end, one for the front end. So how to do that? I click on page, and I scroll down to view page, and here it opens in a brand new tab. Do you see that? We still have our page. This is our page, but now it's opening on a new tab. And this is the best way to work, always with the back end and the front end. Okay, so I want to check that this is correctly done. I click on Unsplash, and indeed it opens, and it opens in a new tab. Ta-da, Splash. So guys, when you are coming to your page on my website, this is your page. Okay, so training Jens and Sudesh. You can just click there and you go to the Unsplash website. All right, so we have to continue on your. Okay, so we are on this image block, and I could upload, as I said, insert from URL or media library. So I am going to click on media library again. Right, and we said that we wanted this one. Okay, fine, and I click on select. And there is the image. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. But let's see if we can improve on this. Okay, let's see if we can improve. So what is the name of this page? I'm going to put test. Okay, what work, Jens and Sudesh, what work do you do as far as wind power is concerned?
For wind power, it's just a source of generation. We're not actively involved with any of the turbines, but we would maybe sell the protection for it.
You sell the what? I'm sorry,
the protection, the protection for the device.
And what is that called?
We will just for our purposes, we will just call it the protection relay.
It is protection.
Yeah, it's normal. The word protection space relay.
Like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I am going to put the tests in front only for the three of us to remember easily. Okay, so introduction. It's not going to be, we have a good website. You are going to say we provide quality protection relays for wind power generation. It doesn't to be exactly right, but a wind power, has it got a hyphen in between, or is it two words? Wind power generation.
Yeah. Hyphen is fine.
We provide quality protection relays for wind power generation. Okay, now so we want to put a caption for this particular image, and we want this image to be shown when a person is doing a Google search for protection relay. So we want this image to help with our SEO. All right.
Okay.
So how do we do that? So the first, I just would like, let's go introduction, provider. Give me a little bit more information about, okay, you know what, I'm going to leave this as is. And what I am going to do is I am going to replace this image. Let's open media library. Okay, so this is the image. That is the image, and something this shutter, stock, etc. doesn't mean much. So you can still leave it, but I'm going to place the cursor on the left.
Yeah,
and
it's half past.
It is half past on your time. It's not half past on my. You know, it's fine. Have you got another 5 or 10 minutes? Jens?
Yeah,
I think
offline.
he's talking to someone else.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just speaking to the boss.
Sure, sure.
Offline.
We've still got time for till 12 past.
Yeah. No.
Have you got? Okay. All right. So
Yeah. No, you carry on. worry.
so let's have another 5 or 10 minutes. And protection relay. So I have clicked and open media library. Okay. So what I am going to do to the left, I am going to put protection relay. Protection relay. And then if shutter, what you had there, shutter stock is important to you with that serial number, you can leave it. But you have to have the title of your page or post and the title. All right. So this, okay, the caption is going to be protection relay installed at installed at ESCOM in Gauteng. I mean, it doesn't have to be accurate. It is only to write something to show you how to do it. So protection relay installed at ESCOM relays. Protection relays installed at ESCOM wind farms in Gauteng. Okay, guys, you copy this and you paste for description. Now, your alt text must have the protection relay, copy, paste, dash, and what you have on caption. Copy and paste. You have done everything here. You have done everything right, and you click on select. And there is your caption. Yeah, protection relay is installed at ESCOM wind farms in Gauteng. Okay. So this is, what is this? This is the title. What is this? This is a heading. This is a paragraph. This is an image. Okay. Now let's say that I would like to have a gallery. So let's look for gallery. So I tap the gallery, and there is the gallery. Okay. And I am going to go to your media library because you have lots of nice images there. And I am going to copy a few. So that one, this one, maybe this one, that one. Okay. Let's have a few. Of course, you can always change that. So I'm going to put here, and remember to do exactly the same for your alt text and create a new gallery. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I am going to, so you can have the caption on each of those and click on insert gallery. So, and there they are. Columns, always look for additional features. For that particular block, this is the gallery block. So, and whatever block you are using, always look for additional features on the right sidebar. So we are on the gallery block. Gallery block. The additional features are here. Columns, you have 3, but maybe, Jens, you are going to say, I just would like to have 2 columns. So now you have 2 columns. Your 6 images are still there, okay? And link to, you could, of course, link this to an attachment page or whatever the case is. I am going to put media file because I would like when a person, a visitor, clicks on any of these images, it is going to enlarge and is going to show as a carousel. All right. So
Okay.
I am going to go ahead and I am going to save draft. It is saving. Saves, and I am going to preview and preview in new tab. So it is published, but don't worry, because the world is not seeing it. It is only for us. And you know how to remove this. I'll show you again if you forgot.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so now we have, this is the name of the page. This is interesting. This is interesting. No, something is very interesting here. Let's just do a couple of things. First, let's go to the page. And what I want to do is right sidebar. No, I don't want a sidebar. But then it's going to look like that, which is fine. We can always adjust this later. And I am going to click on publish and publish. Okay, it says the view page. I don't want. I'm going to close the cross there. And I am going to go to view page here. View page. And this test, it is fine. So it will show like this, if this is what you wanted. But the end is going to say, well, the images look lovely, but actually I would prefer to have 3 columns. So you go back there and you go to the block, click somewhere on the block. Okay, now you are on gallery. Columns, you go to 3, and you click on update. Something I just would like to see here is, now, maybe you are going to say, you know what? They are not really, look, this image starts here, ends there. This gallery starts here and ends there.
Yeah, the alignment between the galleries.
Yeah. So let's make them align center. And let me go to this one and alignment center. Now should be a bit better. And update. Update. Okay, and I'm just waiting for it to update fully, even though it says update there. Okay, now it's done. And I go there and I refresh. It should be a bit better. Alignment is now 100%. But we can still improve on one more thing, and this is protection relays installed at Eskom wind farms in Gauteng. You know what? You don't actually have much spacing in between here. Let's add a little bit of spacing. So I go there. Remember, guys, everything is done in blocks. This is the beauty about Gutenberg block editor. So all you do, how do you create a new block? And remember, this image, you could actually, you can actually resize it. I'm not going to do it now, but you could actually resize the image just by moving it here, just by moving it there. Okay, if you feel perhaps the image was too big, so you can do that. And so I would like to add a bit of space in between that image and this gallery. So I must look for the plus sign, but the plus sign is not displaying anywhere here. It should have displayed automatically. Sometimes it doesn't. There are 1,000 reasons why sometimes it doesn't, okay? So what you do is you go all the way down and until you find a plus sign where it says add block. So you click on it. And now what we'd like to do is add a block that has no content. It is called a spacer. Spacer, and there is a spacer. There, and now gives us height in pixels 100, but 100 may be too much. So let's reduce this to 30. Okay, great. Now, another beauty of Gutenberg is you can move the blocks around. So I would like to move this block up. And you can do you have two options to do that. One is you can do it manually here. Look, up or down, up or down. So there, or can go a bit up or even higher. But there is another way. You just click on the upward or downward arrow. So up, click there, and this is exactly where we would like to have that spacer block. So I am going to click on update. Okay. It says done, but I'm waiting on this most important one where it still shows save. Okay, it's done. So I go there and I refresh. So you should have a bit more spacing there. Let's see. And now you have a bit more spacing. Okay. If this spacing is not good enough for you, you'd like even more, well, you just increase the height. And this is how easy. So guys, do you see how Gutenberg, the block editor, is so practical, so practical. You can do 1,000 things. Let's go back to the plus sign there. You have image, you have used. So these are the blocks that we have used today. Paragraph, image, heading, gallery, spacer. Okay, contact form we didn't use, but it's there because it must fill up the space with 6 block icons.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to go back to image. Image, gallery, cover. Let's quickly do these two and then we break until Friday. So let me show you this. This is a cover. Let's head the cover. And I am going to upload the exact same image. Okay, I just want to remember something. Protection relays. I just would like to copy this. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go back to the media library and use the exact same image. Okay, go there. And we already have auto protection. We have all that. Okay, now let's have a look at the features. On the right side, it says font size, large, color settings. Let's go. No, man. This is a paragraph. We are on the image. So you just click on the image and that's better. Cover, image. Add an image or video with a text overlay, great for headers. Okay. And I'm going to show you how neat this is. I'm going to click on fixed background. You can also repeat background and color overlay. I normally go for the grayish, okay, and then for opacity, you decide. You'd like more or a bit less. I'm going to leave like this for now. Of course, you can always change. And now write title. And what I am going to say there is exactly what we had on that caption. Protection relays installed at Eskimo Wind Farms in Gauteng. Okay, and I am going to click on update. I'm just waiting for the saving here to finish. Okay, and I am going to go there and I am going to refresh. Okay, so this isn't this, you know what, if the image is really a beautiful image and I have this zoom bar and it can really be beautiful, believe you me. In this particular case, you know, it could have been a bit better, but some images come so beautiful if you have the fixed background, So yeah, let's continue. And what did we have on that other one? So if we, as you can see, can I just move this zoom thing to the bottom? As you can see, now you have the 6. Paragraph, image, heading, gallery, cover, spacer. There was image, you have media and text. Okay, guys, there are, and you have a very good plugin or page builder, which is Divi. Divi gives you columns. Okay, Gutenberg, on the basic Gutenberg you don't have. I just want to see if you have columns. You probably have columns by now because they keep on adding things. So let's columns. Yes, you have columns as well. You have columns. So if it is only one column, 2, 3, okay, I'm sorry, 2 columns or 3 columns. Okay, but of course, if you go to other plugins, you don't need a Divi for, and probably Divi will be very limited in terms of columns. There are plugins on their own that have phenomenal columns. And on Friday, I'll give you a name or the name of a plugin that has not just columns, but has got many other important features for Gutenberg. So in any case, so those are your columns. Now, what this does is gives you by default 2 columns. Gives you media, so you can put an image, or you can put your text, so image on the left-hand side and text on the right-hand side, or vice versa. You can also move them around. But you know what? This is useful, but if you have columns, you don't need that. You don't need that. So you know what? I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to change anything here. And the training is done for the day, guys. What I am going to do is I am going to switch this to drafts. So, and okay. So this is only for your eyes. This is for your eyes only. And for the developer, obviously, if he comes across, if he's working on your admin area. So the world cannot see this page. I just left the page there. It is called Test Protection Relay, only to give you a glimpse of how to create a page on Gutenberg. And on Friday, we are going to add 1 or 2 more features onto this page, and we are going to create also a blog post. Even though you are not going to use blog posts for now, keep in mind that blog posts are fundamental for a good SEO. And you might have other websites, and I bet that you're going to publish articles onto those websites, and for that you need to know how to do a blog, how to publish a blog post. So Jens and Sudesh, has this been of any help?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah, general management